Hi everyone, it's Miss Margrave here. Today we're going to be writing a warning tale. A warning tale is when a character gets warned not to do something, they don't listen and something goes wrong and they need to be saved in the end. For this story you'll need a piece of paper, a pencil and some colouring pens and pencils if you wish to colour it in afterwards. You'll need 10 boxes which you can draw yourself or an adult can help you to do just like mine. You can copy my story or you can use your own imaginative ideas to create your own version. If you'd like to create your own version, you need to think about your ideas now. In this story you will need two main characters. So mine is a family with a son and a daughter. You'll need an adult who will give them a warning, and in my story it's the mum who gives the warning. You'll need to think of a character that they meet along the way. Mine is a little old lady. A magic object, so mine is a stone. A wish that they make, so mine is to go to a candy land, that's the wish that my children make, you can think of your own. Something that goes wrong and they've made that wish, so my children drink from the chocolate river and then fall in. And then who saves them in the end? So in my story they're saved by a wizard. So pause now if you need to think about your own ideas. Okay, ready to start. So box number 1, we're going to start with a sentence opener, once upon a time. So I'm going to do that on top of my box. Once upon a time. And here I'm going to introduce my characters. So I'm going to have a family with a son and a daughter. So I'm going to draw them really quickly now. It's my family, and there's a son, and there is the daughter. Okay, so once upon a time there was a family. And where do they live? Mine lived in a cottage in the forest. So I'm going to draw a couple of trees and the cottage. There we go. Once upon a time there was a family who lived in a cottage in the forest. Ready for box number 2. Box number 2 sentence starter is one day. So I'm going to start on top. Capital letter, one day. One day, the children went out to play in the forest. I'm going to draw the children. There's the son and the daughter. And they're going out to play in the forest. And this is where we're going to have the warning. So my mum in my story gave the warning, so I'm going to draw the mum here. I'm going to draw a speech bubble to show her talking, and the warning that she's going to give is to say don't touch anything in the forest. So I'm going to draw a cross for don't and a hand for touching something. Okay, ready for box number 3? So we're going to our sentence starter is along the way. So as they were going to play along the way, and this is where we're going to introduce the next character who they meet along the way. So along the way, there was a puff of smoke. Here's my puff of smoke. And a little old lady appeared. So here's my little old lady. Curly hair, she's got a little cloak on. Here's her arm. Very nice, she's smiling there. Along the way, a little old lady appeared. And she said to the children to look out for a glowing stone that will grant them a wish. So she's going to open her mouth, there's my speech bubble. She said, look out, so I'm drawing a pair of eyes. Look out for a glowing stone that will grant you a wish. So that's where you'll put in your own magic object if you've thought of your own idea. So they continued their journey. So I've drawn an arrow to show that they're carrying on. Ready for box number 4, we're down here now. Sentence starter is suddenly. Suddenly, the children caught a glimpse, they saw, so I'm going to draw some eyes, caught a glimpse of the magic glowing stone at the bottom of a tree trunk. So in this part it's showing you where you'd find your magic object. I'm going to write caught a glimpse to help me remember that part. Ready for box number 5. Sentence starter is despite the warning from their mum. Despite the warning The children didn't listen, and they immediately picked up the glowing stone and made a wish. So I'm going to draw the son and the daughter picking up the glowing stone, and I'm going to draw little thought bubbles for them making their wish. Okay, ready for box number 6 now. They wished is my sentence starter. They wished. Now in my story, they wished to be transported to a candy land. In your story it might be different, so you can draw that here. So I'm going to write transported, same as taken, transported to a candy land. So I'm going to draw a nice candy house made out of lovely sweets. There we go, there's my door and some lollipop trees. Oh, I'd love to live there. That would be really tasty. There we go, that's my wish. Down to box number 7 now. Box number 7 sentence starter is going to be unfortunately, so something bad happens here. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, while the children were sipping from the chocolate river, the sun fell in. So I'm going to draw the lovely chocolate river here. I'm going to draw the daughter having a little drink. I'm going to draw the sun falling in with an arrow. There's my lovely Candyland. So that's the problem, that's what's gone wrong. So unfortunately they were having a drink from the chocolate river and the sun fell in. We're ready now for box number 8. So the sister tried to save him here. Here's the chocolate river. The candy trees again. And the sister tried to save him, but she fell in. So I'm going to draw her leaning over now, putting out her hands, trying to help him. And I'm going to draw an arrow to show that she fell in with a conjunction of but. So the sister tried to save him, but she fell in. Ready for box number 9. Our sentence starter is luckily. So luckily, now this is where you get your next character who appears to save them, and mine is a wizard. So a puff of smoke appeared again. There's my puff of smoke. And a wizard appeared, so I'm going to draw my wizard. And he's got his magic wand. There we go. So luckily a wizard appeared in a puff of smoke and cast a spell to transport the children back home. So I'm going to draw some lines coming out of the magic wand, and I'm going to write spell. And I'm going to draw the children's cottage and write transported home. Okay, ready for box number 10, the last box. Our sentence starter is in the end. So at the beginning I'm going to write in, the end at the start of that box, and in that box I'm going to draw the family back home. So I'm going to draw their cottage. I'm going to draw the dad, the mum, the son, and the daughter. There we go. So in the end, the parents were very cross because the children hadn't listened to the warning. But they were glad that they were home safe. And the children had learnt their lesson to always listen carefully. I'm going to draw an ear to make good listening at the end. So that's the end of my story. So I'm going to read it through with actions now, story map actions, starting from the beginning. Once upon a time, there were a family who lived in a cottage in the forest. One day, the children went out to play in the forest and their mother warned them, don't touch anything in the forest. Along the way, there was a puff of smoke and a little old lady appeared. She told them to look out for the glowing stone that would grant them a wish. So they continued their journey. Suddenly, they caught a glimpse of the glowing stone at the bottom of a tree trunk. Despite the warning, they immediately picked up the stone and made their wish. They wished to be transported to a candy land. Unfortunately, whilst they were drinking from the chocolate river, the son fell into the river. So the daughter tried to save him and pull him out, but she fell in the river. Luckily, there was a puff of smoke and a wizard appeared. He cast a spell and transported the children back to their cottage. In the end, the parents were very cross because the children didn't listen, but they were glad that they were home safely and the children had learnt their lesson to listen carefully. So that's the end of my story now. I hope you enjoyed that. You can make your own version, you can colour it in, perform it to friends and family, or even make it into your own book. I look forward to seeing them.